Ici de Monsieur Joe Lovano, saxophoniste. How are you?
I'm great. I'm so happy to be here in Montreal once again.
Yes, thank you for your time to share with us. So you have a great respect for traditional jazz, and you're very contemporary in the way you play. So you're very cool and fresh. So how do you go about doing that?
Well, you know, I live in the library of the sounds and spirits of the masters. And I try to feed off of their inspiration in the moment to create new music within whatever kind of music I'm exploring. And it has to do with the people you play with and the combinations of personalities, you know. I think throughout the whole history in jazz, that's what made the music so powerful.
Yes.
It was not just one individual player, it was the combination of people that created the music and also project the future of the music. And that's something I'm finding more and more is the reality of playing together and trying to say something that's personal,
yes,
but yet has the deep roots of the history.
It's like you said, all instruments are lead instruments. So can you explain and why is that important to you?
Well, I think like it's all coming from the drums and the melody from the vocalizing, the combination of the rhythm and the melody. And that's in all instruments. Like this is a saxophone, but it's really the drum, it's a piano, it's all the harmony, it's all the polyrhythms in the rhythmic world, you know? And to try to put that together on your particular instrument, all of those elements, it comes together like that, you know? That's why whether you're playing trumpet or trombone or clarinet or flute, you know, or you're vocalizing or playing the piano, it's all about the feeling that you could create from your experience with rhythm and harmony and melody. And the more spontaneous you can be within all of that, all of those elements, more stories you can tell.
Great. I wanted to know also your group.
Which I'm just scratching the surface, by the way.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we can go deep into that. Yes. Your group, US Five, is that because of USA, or is just us like a...
No, it's a congregation.
An ensemble.
An ensemble of 5 people.
Okay.
You know? And I call this group US Five instead of the Joe Lovano Quintet for one reason. That's because I have 2 drummers in this band. It's saxophone, bass, piano, and 2 drums.
Yes.
So when people see Joe Lovano US Five, they can expect an ensemble with 2 drummers. If I say the Joe Lovano Quintet, that could mean other things, maybe with trumpet or guitar, you know, or voice or something else, you know. And having 2 drummers in the quintet is very special because I have, of course, the quintet sound. I have 4 quartets, 10 trios, and 9 duos, plus five unaccompanied voices. So when we break down into these different combinations, because of the 2 drummers, it allows many different things to happen in the collaboration of the moment.
You're a saxophonist, but you're also a clarinetist and a flautist, and you are a drummer also. So when do you sit at the drum?
Well, I do on occasion, yes, and I've recorded some things on the drums on some previous recordings.
Okay.
The last few projects, we have 3 records out with US Five: Folk Art, Bird Songs, and Cross Culture.
Yeah, the recent.
And I play percussion and gongs and some drums and things on these recordings, you know. There's times where I'll sit in and we'll switch around and do some different things
okay, cool.
also. But I really live in the woodwind family, you know, and explore many different folk instruments from around the world from my travels, different flutes and other horns, you know, that I've collected, and they're all very inspiring, and most are not chromatic instruments, and you have to find the different tonalities on them, you know, so you can't just pick them up and play them. You have to really figure out what's happening, and that way of playing, there's a certain innocence there. You don't really know what's going to come out, but you're trying to hear some things and find it, you know. And that's what I've really learned from playing those folk instruments. You know?
Album, which is called Cross Culture, you have written 10 of the 11 songs. So you included Ellington's classic Star-Crossed Lovers.
Yes.
How come you included that one
in
this album?
You know, I've been playing a lot of Billy Strayhorn's music through the years, and in our live performances, to have that moment was very poetic in the structure of the set. So when we went to the studio, I wanted to play that tune and see if we could get a take that really fit in with the flow of the recording. And Esperanza Spalding was on bass on this particular piece, and she played such a beautiful solo within that version of the piece that I had to include it on the recording because it just felt right, you know. When you're playing music and you're putting a recording together, for me, it's really about the feeling, not only of each piece as an individual piece, but how they flow together, you know. And I just felt that really was the right thing at that moment.
So when you're writing your inspiration, is it an everyday life thing, or do you use a musical process?
It's a little of both, you know. With a group like this, that the repertoire now is very wide and rich. Putting together tunes for cross-culture, I was feeding off of what we had done already. And I also had Lionel Luecki on guitar on some tunes. And just with his beautiful conception and approach in the music and the way he fit in, I wrote a few pieces specifically from knowing he was going to play on the session. I wanted him to feel comfortable and be able to be himself very spontaneously without over-rehearsing and all, because we pretty much just played in the studio with Lionel on those pieces, you know. We created them on the spot, you know. So that was that's important. I think as a composer, I'm trying to write more and more for the people I'm playing with, and for the ensemble in general. You know, there was a piece called "In a Spin" on the recording, which we're going to play tonight. That was nobody was sure how to play, like the drummers, and I just said, just follow the way I play. And react to it. I didn't say play this, play that, play. Just listen, and it's going to happen. And
the beauty of jazz.
That's what that's about, you know. And very inspired by Miles Davis for me. His whole career, how he led bands and how he spontaneously created music in the studio that today we listen to as classics, you know, some of them were a rehearsal that were recorded, and just the flow of the creativity and the beautiful energy of the way the cats were playing, that's always inspired me. So I'm always trying to record with that spark, you know. So there's a certain organic thing. It's not academic at all.
What's in your iPod? What are you listening to at the moment?
Ornette Coleman's Friends and Neighbors.
Okay.
I don't know if you know this recording.
No, I don't.
Yeah, Dewey Redman and Don Cherry and Bobby Bradford also on trumpet, Ed Blackwell and Charlie Hayden. That's something I've listened to recently. And also Charlie Parker's South of the Border, which is incredible. It's an amazing date. The way Bird plays all these melodies and songs, he speaks them like he's played them forever. And it's with a great rhythm section with fantastic Latin energy, you know, Afro-Cuban, Mario Bauza and Chico O'Farrell. That record, recently I listened to it, it was like I never heard it before, you know, it was so great.
So I want to thank you, Monsieur Joe Lovano. Thank you for taking your time for sorcijazznights.com.
Thank you.